Hello and welcome back to another video, my little blue bunnies. I hope you're all well and are excited for another video essay. The topic of this one will be complaint domains. Now you must be wondering what this means, and simply put, complaint domains are groups of people who claim to be a fan of something but do nothing but complain about that something. I will be talking mainly about the amazing digital circus, as this complaint domain has been extremely vocal as of late. But I will also be speaking on Hazbin Hotel, Helluva Boss, Knights of Guenevere, Genshin Impact, and Steven Universe. So I hope you have your favorite snacks because this is going to be a long one. Most of the information came from iLamau TV on YouTube and TikTok. I would recommend you check their channels if you are interested in news about indie shows. These videos are very informative and are also in a very pleasant format. The video that prompted me to make this video essay was in regards to an old stream clip that resurfaced from 2019 in regards to Michael Kovac and Ashley Nichols, where they were playing JackBox together with other people, and Ashley Nichols read out a chat name that sounded very similar to a racial slur. This caused the party to freak out and laugh, and 20 minutes later Michael Kovac put this word in-game on a t-shirt and kept voting for it to win. Hysterical laughter can be heard from everyone in the group, and when the t-shirt is removed, Michael says, "So long," and the word. This sparked outrage with people, and recently both voice actors have apologized with tweets. Michael said, "I've just been made aware of this. This is absolutely an insensitive joke. Earlier in the stream, we heard Ashley read out a username that contained the word. And all of us, including chat, freaked out because we misheard what she said. Once the misunderstanding was cleared, we poked fun at the absurdity of it. However, the joke relies on the fact that it's teetering on racist, which ultimately is no different than making a legitimate racist joke." Ashley tweeted, "I want to apologize to anyone the jokes in my stream harmed. Racism is never okay, and even joking about a misunderstanding that sounded racist is also not okay. I should have known better back then, and I want to continue to grow and be a better person. Fuck racism, fuck racists." There has been a mixed response with these replies. Half the fandom accepts the apology as the clip was 7 years old, and the other half believe that Zubul and Jax need to be recast. But I am on the side of the people who accept the apology. If you have to dig 7 years back to cancel someone over an immature joke they have not repeated since, then you have no case to cancel them. It would be different if they repeated it today, but they have apologized. Yes, they were adults who recognized their mistake when it was pointed out and said, "That wasn't cool, I am sorry." Clean-cut apology and acknowledgement without making excuses. I think we could look past this one. The episode 9 cinematic release. Holy Mary and Joseph. You guys are insufferable. If they release it in theaters, then there will be spoilers. Then scroll. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever the hell you use to watch videos does not force you to sit and watch every single video. Just scroll as fast as you can if you don't recognize what you're watching. The fact that Glitch can get their episode in theaters to begin with is a huge win for the indie animation industry, and it opens up so many doors. But instead of celebrating the milestone and accomplishment, everyone is screaming and kicking in the middle of the grocery aisle saying, "What about me?" Greed and selfishness is all I see from the people who have complained heavily on it, and it is disgusting. Up Expo Las Vegas was another problem, as a YouTuber going by the name of Plain Rock went up to the booth Glitch had there and started to loudly quote lines from the JackBox livestream we spoke about at the beginning. This caused Gooseworks to break a little as she responded to the incident with a tweet reading, "We were made aware of horrific and hateful behavior from a specific individual around our Glitch booth today, and we have contacted Level Up staff to take action and have them removed and permanently banned. We have also told our staff not to serve him. Others featured in that video, or anyone seen exhibiting same behaviors that may make any other members of our community feel unsafe or unwanted. These idiots are not representative of our community and fans, and we want to make any glitch event as safe as possible for all. We condemn absolutely any hateful, discriminatory, or dumb shit behavior. Be kind to each other, and if you can't, then piss off. We don't want you here. Honestly, I would have reacted the same way, because what the hell? This is disrespectful, and you are shouting this around people who may not know what you're talking about. This YouTuber is known for this type of thing, but it still doesn't make this shit okay. YouTube and Twitch need to do better at banning accounts that do this type of stuff for clicks. Gooseworks and Glitch have been so fed up to the point that they are now telling people who do this sort of stuff to piss off. And I agree with Lamau. I have never seen a company tell someone to piss off before. Gooseworks herself can't even make a joke about her friend dating one of her characters without the community busting up into big hot balls of rage. She ended up having to put out a Tumblr post asking people to calm down and stop sending her friend death threats over a fictional character. This is a show that only managed to reach the pilot and already ended up in the boxing rings. All because the creator, Dana Terrace, clarified that Frankie was a cis woman and was not questioning her identity after a line from the show where another character called her Franklin. Now, Diana Terrace is the creator of The Owl House, which is a show known for its queer representation as well as an amazing story. As far as I've heard, I'm sorry, but I have not watched this yet. I get that it may have been exciting to think they created a potential trans character, but since this is not the case, people should just let it go. People going after her for this are the same people who make the LGBTQ+ community look insufferable. Accept reality and move on. The other problem people seem to have is that since the release of The Amazing Digital Circus, people have this expectation that Glitch has to be absolutely perfect all the damn time. People didn't like the pilot because they were being overly critical and comparing it to the circus. Which, come on guys, are we serious? The shows are made by two different people and you expect them to have the same level of detail or quality? They are hosted by the same company, sure, but that doesn't mean that every show is going to look or sound the same. And that is beautiful. Merchandise for this show is also criticized. The Knights of Guenevere is a show that mocks corporate greed, mostly on Disney. People think it is hypocritical for the show to release merchandise for the show when they are spreading the message. And I agree with Lamau when he says that this is stupid. Unlike Disney, Dana Terrace and Glitch do not have a massive amount of money flying into their bank accounts. Merchandise is one of the few ways the show gets money to be funded. We saw this type of attitude when merchandise came out of Jax in a maid outfit after episode 5, saying it was a money grab. That may be the case, but people loved it, and the money does go towards funding the show you claim to love so much. Oh my dear God, where do I begin? You wouldn't think that a show about horny demons, drugs, alcohol, sex, murder, war would get so much controversy outside of the Christian community, but boy was I wrong. Let's start off with the shipping drama. Not that there should be unless it involves a minor and an adult or something to do with making a family tree look like a straight line. Back in October of 2025, VivziePop put out a tweet that read, "My opinion shouldn't matter in shipping, because you guys can ship anything you want. But I genuinely wonder how many seasons we can get before I finally break and say which ship I absolutely fucking hate. Cause I'm coming so close. This was mostly in response to Hazbin Hotel, but I believe this implies to Helluva Boss as well. This is also a fine response, as show creators are allowed to have their opinions just like you and me. But she will not say which ship she dislikes because she knows how much infighting there is with the fandom even now. People tried to guess and VivZpop had to put out another tweet that read, "Okay, people seem to be taking this too seriously. For the record, I'm beyond aware how people misbehave about shipping, which is why I haven't said anything. But I will also say a lot of the harassment I have seen is on the hands of certain shippers, and it's deeply disappointing." Heavily agree. What the hell is wrong with you all that you all are rude and threatening towards people because they think differently to you? It's insane behavior, and this show is meant to be for mature adults, not 12-year-olds who think they're hot shit, and that is exactly how you were acting. There are also people who complain about the level of swearing in this show, and I have to hold your hand as I say this. This show is about hell. If there's going to be a high level of swearing in any show, it is Hazbin Hotel and Helluva Boss. Does that mean the writing is bad? No, not necessarily. And it also doesn't mean that it's perfect, but I personally think that the swearing is not an issue. Both shows have valid complaints about the pacing of the stories, for example, and honestly, yeah, I agree here. But at the same time, I see a lot of people absolutely lose their minds over it. I don't really know the details about why Hazbin Hotel only gets 7 episodes a season, but I do know that animation is time-consuming and expensive, so that could be a factor into this. It might have something to do with Amazon too, but I am not sure. As for Helluva Boss, I feel people really need to just be patient about a show that we get for free on YouTube. I get that it's frustrating to have to wait months for Helluva shorts before season 3 starts, but that is just how it is. And at least Spindlehorse is generous enough to give us something from time to time during the wait period. We should show the show a little more gratitude. Y'all can never be happy with this game, I swear to God. Again, complaints towards the game are sometimes valid, like when it comes to Resin Cap, the rewards comparison to Honkai Star Rail, and the lack of diversity, and the fact that some clothes don't match the climate. Looking at Nodcry there. Llama, would you like a jacket? Anytime a character trailer drops, particularly with women characters, you will shit all over it until the character actually becomes playable. I will be using Veressa for this, as this is a character I absolutely adored when she came out. I wish she just wore shorts instead of a miniskirt, but that was my only complaint with her. She introduced a new character model where she was a little thicker than the others, and people were complaining that she wasn't thick enough. They also complained about the fact that she had an extreme love for food. Why choose the fat character to be a food lover? Veressa is based on a Mexican lucha libre. Lucha libre? I think I said that right. Wrestler. And if you look at their body types and compare it to Veressa's, they look fairly similar. Veressa also doesn't have more of a belly to hang over her belt because she works out. She enjoys food competitions and fighting competitions, which balances out her calorie intake. You want a real life example of this? BeardMeatsFood, a food challenge channel on YouTube. Adam is the face of the channel and traveled all over the world to do whatever challenge he can find. He also works out and takes care of himself between challenges, which is amazing. But if you don't want real life examples, how about fictional? Goku from Dragon Ball Z is another character who eats a crap ton of food and yet doesn't have a belly because of the fact that he works out. Yet the hate still remains on Veressa for quite some time. People also complained about Varessa's gameplay as she appears clumsy and uses her butt to do plunge attacks. People sexualized this, not Genshin Impact. The audience did. It is not uncommon for wrestlers to sit on opponents during matches, and her clumsy fight style is just something different from all the other serious fighters in the character archive. Now, Natlan was an entire nation that got hate, including from me, but I feel almost everything said was valid as Genshin had set up our expectations for a land of war, lava, and dragons. Instead, the dragons are dead, the lava looks like American Fanta, and there are Pokemon everywhere. So I will skip over this part and instead speak about Nicole. Nicole finally got her gameplay shown, and to me, she is very pretty and is going to be very good for Varka teams. But of course, people have a problem. People have complained that her gameplay is too simple and that her burst is lacking. Sure, I can see where they're coming from for the burst, but her gameplay is fine for someone who is a supporting character. Let's be honest, how many of you are actually going to main Nicole? So why does her simple attacks matter so much? I cannot believe this wholesome cartoon about magical gems and positive girl power had controversy. This makes me believe that nothing is safe. There were a couple of controversies that affected the fanbase and staff who worked on the show over the years. In 2015, a fan artist by the name of Zami was bullied so relentlessly to the point she attempted to take her own life. And for what? Because people saw her fan art as fatphobic and racist? This was even brought to the attention of one of the co-producers, Ian Jones-Quartey, who said in a now deleted tweet, "Artists should be allowed to draw whatever they want," which fueled more outrage. Fans even saying that the SU team supported racism and pedophilic artwork. These are very dangerous and outrageous claims and simply not true. Another case was in 2016. A storyboard artist and writer named Jess Zook was under fire because they supported ships between Lapis Lazuli and Peridot, rather than supporting the Amethyst and Peridot ships. Jesse Zook was harassed until they left the SU team due to stress. In 2017, a child who battled cancer received the opportunity to visit the SU team and see the process of how episodes were made and receive spoilers for episodes. A YouTuber named HauntedFox harassed the child for spoilers online. Now, the fanbase did actually come together here and defend the child in question, but the behavior of HauntedFox was very disturbing. The point of this video was to highlight the absolute absurdity of some people in fandom spaces. The selfishness, the threats, the infighting, and the disrespect should embarrass the people who act this way. Stop calling people like these fans, because they really aren't. They're just living in complaint domains. Thank you very much for joining me today, my little blue bunnies. This video was a collaboration project with my good friend HauntedFox, who wrote the Steven Universe part of the video and double-checked my work. They have also offered to help with other projects in the future, and I cannot be more grateful. Please like, subscribe, and hit that bell to be notified of new uploads. The link to the Discord will be in the description, and as always, thank you to Low Fluff for the background track. Bye-bye!